Here's your corrected script with proper grammar and punctuation while keeping the style and engagement intact. Catherine sat at the Thanksgiving dinner table, watching as her husband's family handed out gifts to everyone except her. His mother, Monica, smirked. "Oh, we just forgot about you." Her husband, Samson, laughed along with them. Catherine smirked back. "That's okay, I didn't forget about you." Their smiles faded as they opened her gift and realized what it meant. Samson was close to his family, and by his family, Catherine knew it meant his mother and two sisters, Lillian and Janet. They were a tight trio, and she had never been able to break into their circle. She had been married to Samson for 6 years, and in all that time she had been treated like an outsider. It started with little things, how they would plan family trips and conveniently forget to invite her, or how they would reminisce about memories from before she came along, making sure she had nothing to contribute. Monica, her mother-in-law, was the worst. She had a way of smiling while cutting Catherine down, of excluding her so casually that if she ever complained, she would look crazy. Lillian and Janet were just as bad. They followed Monica's lead, throwing in their own sly comments whenever they could. Samson always told Catherine to ignore it. He never defended her, never called them out, never told them to stop. He would just laugh and say she was overreacting, and she had let it slide because she loved him. Thanksgiving was always at Monica's house. She loved hosting. For weeks leading up to the dinner, she would brag about her handmade centerpieces and her famous stuffing. It was always a production. Every year, Catherine told herself this time would be different, that they wouldn't make her feel invisible. She was wrong. They arrived at Monica's massive, perfectly decorated Connecticut home in the late afternoon. The house smelled like cinnamon and turkey, and everything looked like a scene from a Hallmark movie. Monica had outdone herself. The moment Catherine stepped inside, she felt it, that familiar feeling of not belonging. Lillian and Janet greeted Samson with big hugs, then turned to Catherine with polite little smiles that didn't reach their eyes. Monica barely acknowledged her. Samson, of course, didn't notice. Dinner was fine. At least as fine as it could be, while Catherine had to sit through Monica praising Lillian's promotion and Janet's new house, all while ignoring her completely. She kept quiet, smiled when appropriate, and didn't let them see how much it bothered her. Then, after dinner, Monica clapped her hands together. "Before dessert, we have a here's your corrected script with proper grammar and punctuation while keeping the tone intact." Every year, Monica did a Thanksgiving gift exchange. It wasn't really an exchange, though. It was more of a performance, her way of playing the role of the generous matriarch, handing out gifts to show how much she loved and appreciated her family. One by one, she handed out presents, a designer purse for Lillian, a spa gift certificate for Janet, a bottle of expensive whiskey for Samson. Even the grandkids got new toys. Everyone in the family received something, everyone except Catherine. Monica turned to her with a smile. "Oh, we just forgot about you." Then she laughed. So did Lillian. So did Janet. And then, the worst part, Samson laughed too. It hit Catherine like a slap. Years of biting her tongue, years of being ignored, years of being treated like she wasn't worth remembering. And Samson thought it was funny. She felt something cold and sharp settle inside her. She smiled back. "That's okay," she said. "I didn't forget about you." The laughter stopped. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small, neatly wrapped box, handing it to Monica. Monica's smile faltered. She hesitated before taking it, glancing around as if expecting some kind of trick. The room was silent. "Go ahead," Catherine said. "Open it." Monica peeled back the wrapping paper slowly. Inside the box was a thick stack of papers. She frowned and pulled them out, scanning the first page. Her face changed. The color drained from her cheeks. She flipped to the next page, then the next. Her hands started shaking. Lillian leaned over. Janet did too. They read over her shoulder, and then Catherine saw it. That moment of horror when they realized what it was. Their surprise. Monica's business, her beloved catering company, was in trouble. Catherine knew because she had spent the last few months looking into it. Monica had been underreporting her income for years. She had been hiding money, claiming losses that didn't exist, and dodging taxes in ways that were very illegal. And Catherine had proof, all neatly compiled, all carefully documented, all ready to be sent to the IRS. Monica looked up at her, her mouth opening and closing like a fish. "Where did you get this?" she whispered. Catherine took a sip of her wine. "Oh, I had some time on my hands while you were busy forgetting me." Monica's husband snatched the papers from her hands, his face turning red as he read through them. "Monica, what the hell is this?" Lillian and Janet started flipping through the pages, their expressions shifting from confusion to panic. "Mom," Janet's voice was shaky, "what is this?" Monica didn't answer. She couldn't, because she knew exactly what it was. She knew that her entire business, her livelihood, her perfect reputation, it was all about to go up in flames. Samson just stared at her. He wasn't laughing anymore. No one was. And Catherine wasn't done yet. The room was dead silent except for the sound of flipping pages and sharp, panicked breathing. Monica's hands trembled as she clutched the papers. Lillian and Janet looked at their mother like she was a stranger. And Samson, he just sat there, frozen, staring at Catherine like he didn't recognize her. She let the silence stretch, savoring it, letting them feel the weight of what had just happened. Then Monica did what she always did when she was cornered. She went on the attack. "You little bitch," she hissed, her voice shaking. "You don't know what you've done." Catherine raised an eyebrow. "Oh, I think I do." Monica turned to Samson, grasping for control. "Are you just going to sit there? Do something." Samson blinked like he was waking up from a dream. His mouth opened, then closed. His eyes darted from Catherine to the documents. Then he said the worst possible thing. "Why would you do this?" Not to his mother. To her. Like Catherine was the one who had just humiliated him, like she was the one who had crossed a line. Something inside her snapped. Monica must have sensed it because her expression twisted into a triumphant smirk. She thought Catherine would fold. She thought her son taking her side would make Catherine feel small. She thought wrong. Monica slammed the papers down on the table. "This is fake. You made this up." Lillian, still staring at the numbers, looked up. "Mom, this looks real." Janet flipped through the last page, her voice hollow. "These are tax forms." "No," Monica snapped. "This is a setup. You set me up." Catherine smiled. "Oh, honey, you set yourself up." Monica's hands curled into fists. Catherine leaned forward. Lowering her voice, "Did you think I wasn't paying attention all these years?" Monica gasped, like she had been slapped. "Did you think I wouldn't notice how you treat me, how you laugh at me, how you exclude me?" Samson shifted uncomfortably. His sisters wouldn't meet Catherine's eyes. Monica opened her mouth, but Catherine kept going. "You've been committing tax fraud for years, Monica. Sloppy too." Monica's husband, Smith, who had been silent this whole time, spoke up. "How much trouble is she in?" Catherine tilted her head. "If she fixes it fast, maybe just fines, but if the IRS really digs in," she clicked her tongue, "it could be bad." Monica's face went pale. Smith rubbed his forehead. "Jesus Christ." Monica Samson finally seemed to realize how serious this was. "Mom, what did you do?" Monica snapped. She turned on Catherine, eyes blazing. "You ungrateful little, I let you into this family. I fed you, Catherine laughed, actually laughed. "Let me into this family," she repeated. "Monica, you forgot about me, tonight on purpose, just like you've been doing for 6 years. She had no defense, and then came the twist. Catherine didn't see coming. Lillian suddenly slammed the papers down. "How did you know to look into this?" she asked Catherine. Razor-down eyebrow. What? Janet's eyes narrowed. One just digs into someone's taxes, you had to suspect something. A weird feeling crept into Catherine's stomach. Because they were right, she hadn't started looking into Monica's finances. Because of the petty insult, she had done it because of something else, something she wasn't supposed to know. Monica was hiding money, and not just from the IRS. She was hiding it from someone else too, her own family. And that's when Catherine realized Monica wasn't just committing tax fraud, she was stealing from them. Lillian and Janet started flipping through the papers again, faster this time, their minds catching up to what Catherine had already pieced together. Monica hadn't just been cheating the IRS, she had been stealing from her own family, and she knew it. Smith was gripping the papers so tightly. His knuckles had gone white, his face had turned an ugly shade of red. Monica, he said slowly, his voice dangerously low, "What the hell is this?" Monica opened her mouth, closed it again. Lillian's voice was shaking. "You lied to us." Janet was even paler than before. "You said there was no money to help us when we needed it." "But you had it, you were hoarding it." Samson still wasn't saying anything. He just kept looking between Catherine and his mother, like he was trying to solve a puzzle that was right in front of his face. Monica's hands twitched. Catherine could see the gears in her head turning, working, searching for a way to take control. Again she took a breath and made a choice. Her voice dropped into that tone, the same sickly, sweet, condescending tone she always used when she wanted to manipulate people. "Girls, sweethearts, you're misunderstanding," she said. Lillian's head snapped up. "Don't." Monica blinked. "Don't sweetheart me, Mom. We're not stupid." Janet nodded. "You stole from us, lied to us for years." Monica's lip curled. "And where do you think you got your nice things from? Huh, you think life is fair? You think you didn't benefit from what I've done?" Oh, the temperature in the room dropped. That was the wrong thing to say, because now her daughters weren't just angry, they were disgusted. Monica realized it too. Here, Yes widened just for a second, and then she turned to the one person who had always defended her. "Samson," she grabbed his hand. "Samson, honey, you don't believe this, do you?" He flinched for the first time that night. He looked uncomfortable. Catherine watched his face, saw the cracks forming in real time. His mother was lying. His sisters were furious. His wife had just exposed everything, and Samson had to choose. His voice, when he finally spoke, was unsteady. "Mom," Monica tightened her grip. "They're trying to turn you against me." Samson turned to Catherine, his face unreadable. She could see the questions in his eyes, the battle in his head. She stared back. She didn't beg, didn't argue. She just waited, and then he made his choice. "Did you steal from Dad?" Monica jerked back like she had been slapped. "Samson, did you?" His voice was louder this time, sharper. Monica's mouth snapped shut. That was it. That was the moment. Because if there was one thing Samson had always believed in, it was his father. And now his mother was looking at him with guilt on her face. Monica's silence was her answer, and Samson knew it. Lillian stood up suddenly, shoving the papers into Smith's hands. "Dad, look at the last page." Smith flipped to the back, scanning the document, and froze. His face went from red to gray. His hand shook, and then he looked up at Monica like he had never seen her before. "You," his voice cracked, "you drained my retirement account." The room went silent. Jeanette gasped. Samson's eyes snapped to his mother. "What?" Monica's entire face twisted. "I did what I had to do. You stole from me." Smith's voice boomed through the room. Monica flinched. I worked my whole life for that money. Monica, we built a life with that money, and you." Smith staggered back, breathing hard. His hands were shaking so badly that the paper slipped from his grip, scattering across the floor. Nobody moved. Monica's eyes darted around, desperate. "Now I was going to fix it. Stop lying." For the first time ever, Catherine saw real fear in Monica's eyes. Lillian turned to Janet. "We're done. We're cutting her off." Janet nodded. Immediately Monica's head snapped up. "You can't do that. Watch." And then something crashed. They all turned just in time to see Smith gripping his chest and collapsing for a split second. Nobody reacted. Then chaos. Samson lunged forward. Dad, Lillian, and Janet screamed. Monica's hands flew to her mouth, her face a mask of shock. Smith, Catherine was already on her phone calling 911. The operator picked up. 911. What's your emergency? She forced her voice to stay calm. We need an ambulance. Now the next 10 minutes were a blur. Monica was crying hysterically. Lillian was shaking her father. Janet was frozen. Samson was pale, mumbling, Dad, hold on, please, hold on. And Catherine just stood there, watching everything. Monica built fall apart, and knowing this wasn't even the worst part, because Smith wasn't just a man who had been betrayed, he was a man who had lawyers. And if he survived this night, Monica was about to lose everything. The paramedics arrived. Fast the second they rushed through the door, Monica collapsed into hysterics. Oh my God, my Smith, please help him. She threw herself forward like a grieving widow in some dramatic movie. But Catherine noticed something. She wasn't touching him. She wasn't holding his hand, brushing his hair back, whispering to him. She was just performing. Samson was Theone, gripping his father's hand, his whole body trembling. Lillian and Janet stood back, their faces pale and unreadable. Catherine just watched, because she had seen this before. Monica knew she was losing, and Monica didn't lose, so she was trying to spin the story in real time, shaping herself into the poor devoted wife, instead of the woman who had just been caught stealing from the man she claimed to love. Catherine almost felt sick. They followed the ambulance to the hospital. No one spoke. Catherine rode with Samson, but he didn't look at her, not once, not when they parked, not when they walked inside, not when they sat in the waiting room. It was Lillian who finally broke the silence. Mom, what the hell were you thinking? Monica didn't answer. She was sitting stiffly in a plastic chair, dabbing at dry eyes with a tissue, looking like she had been personally victimized. Lillian kept going. You stole from Dad, you stole from all of us. Janet shook her head, voice sharp and tit for years. Monica's mouth twitched, and then she turned to Samson, because Samson was her last chance. Samson, her voice was soft, full of fake sorrow. Sweetheart, you don't believe I meant to hurt anyone, do you? Samson flinched, his jaw clenched, and then he turned to Catherine, not his mother, her. His voice was low. Was this your plan all along? Catherine went completely still. What his eyes burned into hers. Was this the revenge you wanted, destroying my family? She felt her stomach drop hard. Monica's shoulders relaxed. She had just won him back after everything, after all the lies, after stealing from him, from his sisters, from his father, after letting her own husband collapse on the floor. She was still more important to him than Catherine. Catherine stared at him, her mouth dry. Are you serious? Lillian's head snapped up. Samson, don't do that. Janet looked disgusted. Mom did this to herself, but Monica pounced. She leaned towards Samson, touching his arm. Her voice gentle. You've always been the only one who early understood me. And Samson let her. That was it. That was the moment. Catherine felt nothing for him anymore. Catherine stood up slowly. Monica's gaze flicked to her a small, satisfied smile on her lips, because she thought she had, when Catherine let out a small breath and then laughed. Monica's smile faltered. What's so funny? Catherine shook her head. You, Monica, you're funny. Monica stiffened. Samson grabbed Catherine's wrist. Just stop. Okay, she yanked free and then let it all out. No, Samson, you stop. Everyone froze. She turned to Monica. First, you treated me like garbage for 6 years. You excluded me, humiliated me, made me feel like I didn't belong. And the second I fight back, I'm the villain. Monica opened her mouth, but Catherine wasn't done. She turned to Samson. You let them treat me like this? His face hardened. It's not that simple. Yes, it is, Catherine said sharply. She let out a sharp breath. Your mother stole from your father, lied to your sisters, and you're still sitting here defending her? His jaw locked. She shook her head. You were never on my side, not once. and I'm done waiting for that to change." She pulled her wedding ring off and dropped it into his hand. His eyes widened. "What are you doing leaving?" Monica sucked in a breath. "Oh, don't be dramatic," Catherine laughed. "Again, dramatic, Monica. I just burned your life to the ground in under an hour." Monica's face twisted. Lillian and Janet didn't stop Catherine. Neither did Smith. When he woke up and found out everything, he filed for divorce. Monica lost everything, and Samson tried to reach out. Weeks later said he finally understood what Catherine had been trying to tell him for years. She blocked his number because she wasn't waiting for him to choose her anymore. She had already chosen herself. If you liked my video, please like and subscribe to the channel.